Rev TV brings the world of motorsports into your home with over 100 live race series such as MotoGP, IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, Extreme E, World Superbike, and the newly launched all-electric E1 series. From 2 wheels to 4, from land to sea, your destination is Rev TV.
Tonight, Blazing Pedals and its ARCA Series looks to see who will be amongst the championship drivers for its finale in a couple weeks' time. But we have to see how things go tonight until that point. This evening, we're happy to have you with us here on Green Flag TV from Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. Justin Prince McCrow with you. Dustin Owens is our producer for tonight's coverage as we get ready to go for the penultimate race of the season. Our second 2-mile circuit in 3 races here, Emmett. It's going to be interesting to see how tonight fares out under the lights in California.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure. You know, this is what a way to have the final cutoff race at this famous track, which we can't go to anymore, unfortunately. But we can do it in the sim. It's going to be great action. A lot of beating and begging. It'll be interesting to see who gets into that championship 4.
Indeed, keep in mind the pressure is on as Emmett is as Chris Carroll has a 28-point advantage to the cut line coming into tonight. Hunter goes in 18 points on the cut. Cody Gibson, Dawson Kiro amongst the distances. 4 points is the separation to the cut line. Tara Butcher Benjamin, in our words, needs a good race tonight. John Perkins is behind by 9 points from the cut. You also have Brian Zimmerman and Larry Bell likely out of contention to get above the cut line here this evening. So that's a look at how things are when it comes to the driver standings. There's also the team side of things to factor in. Also, we're 2 dudes racing had the advantage coming into tonight with the previous advantages showcased after Nashville with a 9-8 advantage, 2 dudes over MFRD. The field itself is getting ready to go here at Emmett. Qualifying underway. We have less than 10 minutes to go until we grid up. Only 2 drivers have set time so far. Majority of the field waiting as long as they can here.
And, you know, we think about this track, we think about the finish we had at Michigan. I think it's going to be even crazier than Michigan tonight, Justin, as we see Dalton Kilroe making his qualifying lap. And now we see Nicholas Moody, sorry. Got a little confused.
Nicholas Moody end up finishing below Dalton Kilroe on time. So it's just trying to get extra times on the track. Ty Marasco. He's amongst those pushing hard. We've seen him so far this season have a lot of ups and downs, but looking to finish out with some momentum here. Try and be a playoff spoiler, so to speak, in the DQ machine. You can see him just trying to use the high line here and trying to build that momentum for the second time around.
Yeah, using that high line, and that's the thing about this track. There's 2 lines that are really aggressive. You can either rip the fence or you can diamond the corner, going into 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and you drop all the way down to that apron, and we see a lot of guys pick up a lot of speed. This is a big drafting track. It's going to be a fun race tonight, Justin, as the lap times are going to pick up as this track gets cooler and cooler.
Absolutely here. See where Marasco's time's going to end up lying out. Keep in mind, Tara Butcher Benjamin, Will Bruden, and Brian Zimmerman all just now hit the racetrack to start their qualifying laps also. But for Marasco, his qualifying effort, second time around, 39.6, top of the board by about 13 one-thousandths of a second. Here's a look from William Bruden as he tries to test out the high side. A little bit too high, he's in the wall.
Yeah, William Bruden into the wall, and now he's rolling way out of it, trying to keep that car down as we see Taylor Butcher Benjamin, you mentioned the first driver looking in, on the outside looking in on that cut line. And he's going to have a good race tonight, Justin. It's going to be interesting to see how he does tonight. He looked really good at Nashville, had a great finish at third. So it would be interesting to see how he bounces back from that coming to Fontana.
Yeah, we'll see if Taylor Butcher Benjamin's able to get the edge here tonight. He needs to have his best race of the season. Once the championship, first time around, as you would expect, is a throwaway. And when it comes to this track, lots of opportunity for multi-groove racing, but qualifying at least, have to use the lower grooves. Butcher Benjamin did hit the apron there. That cost him some time for the backstretch.
Yeah, just a little bit, but look at him pick up speed as he gets it right up next to the wall, rim riding right there. He'll just dive it down, just like I was talking about, Justin. He's using that bottom line, and you want to get right on that white line and then let the car just drift up into turn 4, coming to the line.
See, he nearly clipped the grass. It's only a 7. Not good enough for Butcher Benjamin. It's, in fact, the slowest time out of everybody. Mike Massengill, he's actually qualifying for the first time in a while.
Right? Oh,
yeah.
man.
Usually elects to start dead last as the only driver not qualifying. Not tonight.
How about Brian Zimmerman with the 39.59? Wow.
Yeah, to the top of the board here. So Zimmerman, at the very least, looking to end things solidly here. Mike Massengill, first lap was faster than Larry Bell's initial first lap. See, Massengill.
Oh, man, that's close.
Decent time, but not good enough. 39.8.
Yeah, I picked up 0.02 of a second, but it's not going to be enough to. Still 0.3 off of our pole sitter, Mr. Brian Zimmerman, for right now. The provisional pole sitter.
One car to keep an eye on tonight, Kyle Wellman. Last time out in Nashville, he showed flashes of brilliance in the 5 Kings Motorsports machine, but in the end, it was up and down for the 42 in the overall running order. Right now, starting in the 40 flats for his qualifying efforts. See him just having to work that wheel, struggling to get to the bottom this time.
Yeah, now he's going to drift up to the wall, trying to pick up some speed. Now he's going to cut the track right here at the apron. 39.65.
Chris Carroll, last week's winner, is the top seed coming into today when it comes to the point standings. As long as things go to game plan, could very well be his championship to be able to contend for next week. Hunter Lagoon's top of the board. Chris Carroll only gets to 3rd highest, so it will not be a Chevy on the pole, at least his Chevy. Cody Gibson's a strong chance for that pole time, though. Cody Gibson, a good qualifier always. He seems to be able to find his way to the front of it to start.
Yeah, definitely always seems to find his way to the front. And he's done good in these last few races. Of course, he picked up that win early on. Don't quote me. I couldn't remember where it was. But, we were talking about Hunter Lagoons. I just wanted to add, his first win came at Michigan. And this is, kind of a similar track to Michigan. So, Hunter Lagoons could be really tough tonight.
Lagoons, we know, has good speed. Cody Gibson, though, has better quality. To get to the top of the board into the 39.51. That leaves just Tanner Marr, Mark Arthur as your last qualifiers in this session. Close things out for qualifying.
2,000
at the very least. Yeah, that's 7. Tanner Marr doesn't improve that much when he gets to 12. Mark Arthur, I don't think he's going to get even 1 lap in.
I don't think he's going to get it in. see.
See him. He's not exactly where he needs the RPM band to be. But this is his second time around here. He did not get a first lap in. And I don't think this second lap's not going to make it. Nope. He's a few seconds short. And Mark Arthur, as a result, back of the field, starting position. 17 cars. He'll be the last of them tonight. So qualifying is complete. Time to look at your starting grid tonight here from California. Cody Gibson's on the pole tonight. Hunter Lagoons will start next to him. 27 1/1000ths the difference. Brian Zimmerman starts in row 2. Chris Carroll is to the outside of said row. Row number 3. That'll feature Ty Marasco, Dalton Kilrow. He's had it up and down past couple weeks. He starts 6th. Kyle Wellman in 7th. John Perkins looks to perk up from the 8th position. And rounding out your top 10 starters tonight, Nicholas Mooney, Trevor Harmon is in 10th.
Yeah, in P11, we're going to find William Bruton next to Tanner Marr in the 4 machine in P12. P13, we're going to find our first cutoff driver, Mr. Taylor Butcher Benjamin, in 13, lined up next to Mike Massengill, who actually made a qualifying effort in P14. Then rounding out the field is going to be Larry Bell and Mark Arthur. And then we also, I believe, Jess Hadley in the Hey Arnold machine will round out your field.
Hadley to the tail of the field. It's one of the drivers still, believe, trying to get into session. In fact, has not gone into session yet to take part in the racing festivities. Had been a part of final practice. So as we get set to go for tonight, here from Under the Lights in Fontana, we get set to go for a 120-lap race. As a result, with tonight's distance, that's going to be about 240 miles. We'll also have stages at laps 24 and 48. Pretty hot for the nighttime conditions here, Emmett. Your keys to victory here as we get ready for a very dry night in California.
You know, I'm thinking we go back to Michigan. We think about the keys to win that race. It was all about tires and keeping yourself out of the dirty air, keeping your car in clean air. So I think that's what it's going to be here at Auto Club as well, Justin.
So what are some of your, who do you think is going to get the job done, I should rather say, here tonight?
Don't want to say because I don't want to jinx Hunter Lagoon, so I'm going to go Brian Zimmerman.
I think you just jinxed 2 drivers. I mean, you picked 2 of them. So, definitely see which one of those comes on through. Hadley did not make it through the starting grid procedure as we are just about set to go racing here from what is on iRacing still called Auto Club Speedway. No longer existent in real life, though. This racetrack was in the process of being torn down to make way for a short track. Its grounds these days are now surrounded by warehouses. So it's the question of will this track become a racetrack or a Amazon warehouse in the future? That is still up to NASCAR.
Well, they were wanting to make it a drag strip too, I believe, also.
Good point. But we're about to see how the points fare out here tonight. Green Flag TV, happy to have you with us here for Blazing Pedals and its ARCA Series. Green Flag is out. We're underway from California. Caution flag is out. We have a wreck in the back, and it's exactly not what Taylor Butcher Benjamin needed. He was in it with Perkins. Bit of damage down for the 10 as we're under yellow.
That was a crazy first lap.
Take a look at this. Perkins running in the middle of the pack here. Oh, it was Nicholas Moody who got him.
You know, it doesn't look like Butcher Benjamin suffered that much damage.
Not a lot, but still looks to be a little bit of a nose crunch. Let's take a look from his viewpoint.
Yeah, Moody just washed up the racetrack, and then he tried to lift right there, and there was nothing Butcher Benjamin could do.
So that will bring us under the yellow. Butcher Benjamin not really too happy on the radio right now, but still have a long race to go, to say the very least. Remember, that final stage going to be more than 70 laps distance. 75% fuel as well is going to make things interesting on the fuel stints tonight. To say the very least, make it about 30, so it's potential of a maybe 2-stop in the later stage. Butcher Benjamin and Larry Bell do take the opportunity to come down pit road. There is the bright side. This track is so big here, you can get the repairs done for the most part.
Yeah, you can get the repairs done here because, I mean, like you said, this track is so big. They should be able to get these cars repaired before they come out of turn 4.
All this as well, Cody Gibson controls things up at the front of the field. Lagoon, Zimmerman, Carroll, your top 4 here. Cody Gibson this season coming into tonight. He's been really strong when it comes to his race speed as of late, as touched upon in the 7 camp. Nicholas Moody does get the cause of caution. Now, in the case of Gibson, a one-time winner this season, but he set the pole 5 times now. That pole time difference is tied with Chris Carroll for the most this season. Gibson this season has also been one of the more consistent drivers in getting laps on the board here. Do you think Gibson can try and hold things off here in the long run here in the 7? He's had a hard time fending them off long run.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because, I mean, look at Hunter. There was something interesting, Justin, on that first lap. Did you notice how Hunter Lagoon's car was acting on the outside? I mean, that thing came to life, and he was making some good moves getting that side draft for sure, but it'll be interesting to see if Cody Gibson can have a long-run car tonight, because that could end up winning the race. But like you said, this is probably going to be a fuel mileage race since there's only 75% in the tank.
Prepared for the restart here. Try this again. Nicholas Moody at the tail. Larry Bell. Terrell Butcher Benjamin. Time for repairs. Butcher Benjamin's repairs only took about 15 seconds though, so not that long of a repair time. For the 10, we'll see if he's able to bounce back here. So we'll come up with 20 laps to play around with here in this stage. We get going here, Emmett. We'll have to see how the multi-groove racing plays out as this run stretches out.
Well, yeah, that's what we noticed. We saw the multi-groove racing, and the thing about this track, you can go, side by side to 3 wide to 4 wide, even 5 wide we've seen here. So that's really going to be interesting, and it's such a nervous feeling when you're sitting there and you're 3 wide, 4 wide, 5 wide, because you're just sitting there and trying not to bounce off of anybody like a ping pong ball.
Let's find out how this plays out here. Coming up to start lap 5. Green flag is out. We're back on our way. A bit of tire spin, interestingly enough, for Kyle Wellman. But everyone else is able to keep it stable. Gibson already clear.
Yeah, Gibson gets clear, and look right here. As we see, Chris Carroll going to push the issue and go 3 wide, going into turn number 2, coming down the backstretch. Carroll trying to clear him, That's his teammate right there, and then also Brian Zimmerman as well.
A lot of pushing down the straightaway into the corner. Carroll electing to take it to the middle. Marasco electing to take it to the outside of a couple different cars. That outside line can be very powerful here, especially down the front straightaway, even with the bumpier surface of Michigan. We're seeing that become evident here. A lot of pull up on the high groove from Marasco.
Yeah, and I just want to add, Justin, John Perkins, after being involved in that caution, just set the fastest lap so far in this race. Wow.
Now Perkins blisteringly quick in the heart of the field. Marasco trying to push some cars around here. Drivers like Kilrow pushing up. Wellman trying to take him 3 wide. Lagoon's going the wrong way to start this one off. He's already lost 5 spots from his starting position in the span of this run as they start to snake.
Yeah, he just got freight trained several times, whether it be a bump draft or, just out of line. But the thing is, that car, the way it handles in the side draft, as we see Dalton Kiro get around him, I think that car's going to handle better when he was running on the outside rather than the bottom. So look for that as well for him to get back to the high side and rip the fence.
Yep, here we go. We have a wreck in the back. It's Madison Gill. He's up on the fence. No caution. We stay green, the 20. I'm going to 3 wide with Tennevar and Trevor Harmon, and he's got a meatball flag.
What happened? Oh, man. Oh, Taylor Butcher Benjamin.
Yikes is all you can say, as that's going to see Madison Gill drag the car around here still. Cody Gibson continues to maintain in front, though. Zimmerman has got Wellman pushing hard. Wellman trying to get him loose.
Wellman is pushing real hard right there, just trying to get his teammate back up there. And now we see right here as Wellman is going to go to the outside as Zimmerman goes low, and he's actually going to pull the slide job right in front of Cody Gibson. What a move by Zimmerman early on.
You see everyone just going to a choo-choo train. And this is the tough thing. Even though this draft package, when it comes to the 2-mile circuits, builds up a lot of slipstream, it's hard to get the runs built up down the back straightaway here, Emmett. This track doesn't get as much suction compared to Michigan because it's not as smooth. This scan, very bumpy. You have those teams that were at least a couple feet wide before they tore the banking down to put up warehouses. It's hard to be able to get a true run here. It's a driver-intensive track.
Yeah, it definitely is, and it's a slick track also, but, I mean, it's all about, you don't think about a super speedway, you don't think about, well, not a super speedway, but like a 2-mile track, you don't think about downforce. But here at California, that's what you're wanting. You're wanting enough downforce in the car to be able to get through the turns, but with the sun down and the lights on, there's going to be a lot of downforce picking up with these cars. So look for some moves. But the Gen 6 is just very unique, Justin. And that's what I remember when they used to come to California. It was very interesting how this car handled the bumps, how it handled the draft. And like you said, it's so hard to build up that momentum from that slipstream.
So difficult to get the job done, absolutely, but Brian Zimmerman just got the job done the past couple laps there. Make the move. Zimmerman is able to get in front of Gibson with a pass. Now it's about, can Gibson get the pass back? There's not yet. He has decided just to push. Wellman elects to try and take away second spot away instead. Dalton Kilrow right on behind also. Kilrow, a 7-time winner this season. Looking to take away the 3rd spot. Looks like he's got the run. He'll take it.
Yeah, as we look right there, as Kilrow's going to shoot down. Oh, that was an aggressive block right there by Kilrow. And that pushed Wellman up out of the groove. Now they're 3 wide with Chris Carroll on the bottom and Ty Marasco in the middle. But now we see Zimmerman, as we see Kilroe go side by side with Gibson trying to get that position, as Zimmerman's just going to be able to pull away. But look at Wellman, Justin, able to use that outside line to get to the advantage and almost push it 3 wide.
Yeah, a lot of squabbling here, as you would expect here with this racetrack. It's going to be hard to be able to potentially maintain in some circumstances. Chris Carroll, by the way, he's trying to make up a lot of lost ground here. Able to zip by 2 of them on the inside. 97, remember, was good long run. Early set up, especially in Nashville last time out. Now he's trying to close things up the lagoons. That bridge gap is separating out a little bit here, but it's closed up immediately by Carroll's brakes.
Yeah, and if Carroll can get up to the back bumper of Lagoons, maybe he can give him just a little bit of a push to get past these 2 cars in front of Lagoons, and maybe Lagoons will be able to slide up in front of Cody Gibson and take away that 2nd position.
See Perkins, 33 machine, just riding about here. Perkins, -9 to the cut line. Hasn't had winning speed this season. He needs to get some stage points here picked up on the board, though, Emmett. That's the most important thing possibly for him to consider in these races right now.
Yeah,
and
John. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
You were saying?
I was going to say, yeah, John Perkins, you know, like we said, hasn't showed any. He's been consistent, though, Justin. I mean, it seems like every race he's either getting those early stage points, and that's really helped him as these playoffs have unfolded. And he's also had good finishes also, even though he did have a couple wrecks. But he's just been so consistent, and that's why 2 Dudes is at top of the leaderboards in the team standings.
Keep in mind, it's not just about the stage points. Well, remember, it is top 10 that score stage points. It's also about getting led laps in this series in terms of some of the bonus points. The pole position, that already went to the 7 again to help their situation. There's also the fastest lap that's a point.
Oh, man, Tanner Marr in the wall.
Tanner Marr just clapped the wall pretty hard, in fact. And damaged the race car there with the 4 machine. Kept it clean on the fender. As we're about to say, also going to be important, Emmett, to think about here, too, for some of these drivers. Limiting issues like this one. Because if you get incident points, it costs you the potential of getting 3 bonus points. You get 3 bonus points if you finish with 0 incident points.
Wow. So, yeah, that is huge right there. And the thing is, it's so hard because these guys, I mean, they have so much talent, and it's such a range of talent. So it's kind of, you know, it's real hard to try to stay away from the incidents, you know, in this series.
Let's take a look at this.
Oh!
Carroll did not like that one. Trevor Harmon got a better run. Ends up backing out of it, and as a result, Harmon to the back of the field. Chris Carroll.
Oh, there goes.
Oh, there's some near contact in the pack again. Mark Arthur Amonso's getting bounced around back there. Trevor Harmon
there you go.
just took a slide. We're not going to get a caution from that. Harmon able to hold on to it. Harmon to the back.
Yeah, what about the save by Nicholas Moody and Mark Arthur? Unbelievable saves. As you see right here, there's the contact early on with Chris Carroll.
Taylor Butcher Benjamin, we talked about him earlier on in the incident back here. Lagoons, he struggled here tonight so far. A little bit of air distance at first, but I think that contact may have happened regardless. Lagoons lucky to just drive away.
Yeah, definitely lucky. But look at, oh my gosh. How did that car not spin out?
Yeah. Trevor Harmon, though, way too low on the racetrack. Flip the penalty apron. Takes first line. Less than 5 laps to go now on the stage, by the way. Zimmerman continues to control things out the front of the field. 28 machine. Trying to get himself 10 points for this stage, but Gibson's got the run inside. Backed out of it.
Look at Chris Carroll going 3 wide, going down to the start-finish line into turn 1. He's going to try to split it right here, but Tanner Marr's going to have the line on the outside. See if Carroll can pull off the slide job right here. Not going to be able to do it.
Just couldn't get the clearance. Gibson trying to get the side draft. He nearly turned Zimmerman. He was trying to get to the left for her so hard there. Instead, trying at the arc. Getting good center speed. But it's been exit. That's been the tough part. Zimmerman with the preferred groove. Kyle Wellman will help him instead and take a spot in the process.
Look at the push from the 2 teammates.
Will slip by, no issue. Marasco. Oh, that's a little bit tight. 7 Gibson gets bounced around. Coney Gibson goes to the back.
Wow. Look at the run Dalton Kilrow just got, Justin. He's going to try to clear Wellman right here. And he's not clear, so he's going to stay on the bottom. Wow, I thought he was about to make that move.
That road is closed, by the way, for the stage. Contact, Carroll also going to push back from it. But Wellman trying to build something up here on the high side with the help of Marr. Kilrow, muscle saving tire, wrapping the bottom.
Yeah, Marasco went with Marr just trying to make a run, but now they're behind Wellman. And now Wellman's right behind his teammate. See if he can get enough side draft to get in front of Zimmerman.
Here we go, coming up to the white flag, this time through for stage 1. But a contact, Marasco coming down on Kilrow. Last lap of the stage comes on through this time. Taylor Butcher Benjamin is all of a sudden up here too. He's got it up to 4th to try and get some points. Marasco looks to steal some from the table still.
Yeah, Marasco got that run from Kilrow helping him. And Marasco thought he could slide up in front of Butcher Benjamin, but wasn't going to. Now Marasco's dropping like a rock with this freight train.
Here we go, 3 wide again.
Oh gosh.
Brian Zimmerman coming out of the corner for the green-white checkered, getting it. He'll get the stage win over Wellman, Marr, Butcher Benjamin, Arthur, Kilrow, Gibson, Brunin, Carroll, and Marasco. Launch your top 10.
Wow.
Marasco in front of Carroll at the line. That will have to be looked at, obviously, at the end of the set stage, but under yellow for our first stage break of the evening. Good time to mention that tonight's action does have a presenting partner when it comes to the series. That is Ohio and Indiana Roofing, a premier roofing contractor. Their sister company to the Bruns Construction Enterprise, specializing in commercial and industrial roofing. They're also committed to accommodating the unique needs of each client and offer creative solutions to meet those needs. They're a team of individuals who work for the same common goals: professionalism, quality, and service. Services offered include preventative maintenance, re-roof and new construction, infrared scanner, green roof solutions, metal retrofit, emergency repair services, and more. Visit oiroofing.com for more information. So we get set for pit stops coming up here. Butcher Benjamin, after his repairs, got to 4th. Larry Bell, for his reference, only got the 13th for the top off. Here's a look at how close it was. For a couple of these spots, you see Kilrow and Gibson in a drag race. Marasco gets the edge on the 97 at the stripe.
Yeah, that was too close to call for sure.
Absolutely close when it comes to that run to the stripe. But the field gets set for pit stops. Series to lap 48. This next stage. Curious if we see anybody try and roll the dice, take a two-tire call here, anything along those lines. But nothing doing so far as they come on down to pit speed.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see, like you said, the call, what they're going to do right here. I'd imagine everybody goes 4 tires and get a full tank of gas.
Everyone getting on their jacks here. You see some of the pit deltas popping up on screen. General Tires getting put to work. Nicholas Moody missed his pit stall. Not make a stop. So like we'll see him come next time by instead. Race off pit road's close. Chris Carroll got the jump and Zimmerman spun it.
Oh, man.
Zimmerman might be able to keep a spot here despite the spin. But it heat up the tires a little bit more than I think he would have wanted here. Instead, we'll have to drive around some of these cars here as Carroll got the edge for that spot. Here it is, Zimmerman now able to get by the commitment cone and some of his spots back here.
Yeah. I mean, at least he was out of, that's the thing, at least he was out of the pits when he spun out. So he's going to get his spots back for sure.
Yeah, you see it right there at the very end. Gibson nearly nosed him, actually. 7 was lined up right for that part of the exit. He's very lucky he didn't hit him there. Zimmerman does get the spot. Here's the race.
Just got on it too quick.
Able to get it corrected and back going. With that in mind, Nicholas Moody has come down as expected for his service, the second wave. We get ready for what will be about a 20-lap run in stage 2. Emmett, so far, this race has been controlled by Gibson and Zimmerman, but Carroll has a chance for the first time to lead here.
Yeah, Carroll, for the first time tonight, you know, right now he's at the top seed in the playoffs. So it'll be interesting to see how he runs this race, if he pushes the issue or if he just tries to have a good, clean race, good point stay, and make it to this championship 4.
Going to be interesting where the points now lie by the end of the night, to say the least. Keep an eye on those points metrics as they turn. But right now, it's in the hands of the Five Kings Motorsports machines of Carroll and Zimmerman. They'll take the wide line. Zimmerman does at least as they get ready for the restart zone along the front straightaway. Only Mike Matzingill off track from incident. Everybody else in the lead lap. Carroll catches Zimmerman sleeping. Back it away as the outside line does not get a good jump.
No, they don't. And right after that, Carroll immediately goes to the top. Now he's going to the bottom. Just trying to break the draft of these two cars.
Trying to figure out where to go as Gibson's the first on the bottom. Zimmerman now moves to the bottom himself. Wants his lead back. He's got Wellman right behind. A little bit of contact to the door. Carroll doesn't get held up from it though, as Wellman chooses to help the 28.
Yeah, right here, Zimmerman on the bottom. Just getting a nice little side draft from Carroll. And now look at this, Wellman pushing this, you're trying to go 3 wide.
They see him 3 wide in contact. Butcher Benjamin.
Save it.
Oh,
my
he doesn't avoid the inside wall, and that could be costly for the 10. Butcher Benjamin blows up from the contact, and his chances of being above the cut line for the championship 4 are likely toast.
Yeah, his chances just blown up just like that hit right there. Man.
Take a look at the replay. A little door contact and could have saved it, but the wall jets out. He actually runs head first to a tire barrier.
Yeah, and it was just, that car just absorbed all that energy the wall did. It just tore the front of that car up and definitely knocked him out of this race.
One more look. Did he go up or did he come down? That's the question. The 10 of the 97. Oh.
It's a hard leg.
With all that going on, Zimmerman is now in the race lead, by the way. Zimmerman now taking control. Go to Gibson. Kick down. William Bruton having a good run off the restart. He's been able to get to fourth here in the 83.
Yeah, and William Burton, you know, he had a tough qualifying effort, but really improving on race night, under the lights when time matters most. Ooh, car in the wall. I think it was Wellman.
A little bit of a scrape there as Wellman now under attack by Kilrow, but everybody else electing to stay on the top. You see some of your biggest movers and shakers. Hunter Lagoons has had a rough night, by the way. He is not in a great position to score points. He only had a 22-point buffer, Lagoons did, coming into tonight. So he's got to make sure to score some points at least. Perkins is doing a decent job at least gaining some of the ground back now. Oh, that's a little deep of a send. Bruton too aggressive.
Yeah, Bruton being really aggressive as we see Tanner Mark clap the wall once again. We saw it earlier, now he hits it again. But Bruton really backs out of the gas right in front of Kilrow.
Don't know if they actually touched, but it was close. Bruton, as a result, to the back again. Tanner Marr, though, clocked the wall earlier on. Highest up he's been on the night, plus 10 for the 4 machine. Tanner Marr trying to make some waves. He's only had 2 top 5s this season, 8 top 10s in 30 starts.
Yeah, Tanner Marr doing a great job. You know, it just seems like he's been caught up in late race wrecks. So glad to see him up here running good. You know, a couple weeks ago we saw Chris Mackey up there running, got the top 5 at Bristol. So be interesting to see if Tanner Marr can get a top 5 tonight.
It'd be very interesting if if he was to pull it off for 5Ks. See the different lane choices here. What's your preference? Do you like to run the high line, the bottom line, the middle line? Where's your preference when you race here?
So I like to run on the straightaways. I'm right next to the fence. And then when I dive it into the corner, I'm diving in the corner where I let the car slide all the way to the bottom and then just let it drift up so close to the wall. And then when you get to the start-finish line, just dive it down to get on that apron and cut the track, trying to get some speed and some time for sure.
See, just right now, Zimmerman trying to play the aero games a little bit, choose different lines in the corners each time, make it a little bit unpredictable. Time through, 11 to go in the stage.
Yeah, now Kilrow's going to get freight trained on that outside. Well, now Cody Gibson drops down to the inside, so that will help him as Mark Arthur's also right there. Mark Arthur actually helping Dalton Kilrow, Justin.
Yeah, I'm going to work with him a little bit. Mark Arthur, remember, didn't get the qualifying time up for tonight. Or one of the two dudes racing machines. He did pretty well here in the past. But Arthur, see him just trying to pick his spots here, trying to finish up with a clean run. It's been a little bit of a rough stretch in finishing positions as of late for the 12.
Yeah, we saw him dominate was dominating at Bristol, and then got caught up. What was it? He blew a speeding penalty. So
Yeah.
it's really interesting to see Mark Arthur, see if he can get this good run tonight for two dudes.
It gets second spot at the very end of Nashville's race, but 9th at Michigan. See his teammate Perkins just right in the middle of the racetrack as we go here, with under 10 laps to go on the stage. So at this point, there is one note with this run. Chris Carroll has lost touch to the lead group. Hunter Lagoons as well. Two drivers above the cut coming in are not anywhere close to the pack.
Yeah, and I think this is planned. I think they wanted to stay out of the chaos. They're probably expecting something big to happen. So I think this was planned, Justin.
Let's take a look and see where things shape up later, absolutely. But right now, as we go now, things have steadied up for the most part up front. Tanner Barr having one of his best races of the season here. He's trying to find a way to close this on up here. The problem is he just cannot seem to get the pole he's looking for. Hasn't gotten the bump drafts needed to really get a chance for this race lead yet. Now he'll take the run to the bumper.
Yeah, it gets to the bumper of Zimmerman. But here's the thing, Justin. Also, I wonder, are they getting close on fuel? And is that why they're backing off to save fuel to end this stage?
How this is going to fan out here with Trevor Harmon 2 up the middle. Remember, he had the wiggles earlier, and he's getting turned. There goes Trevor Harmon for the caution.
Mark.
Other cars are up the track. John Perkins, Bell is around. A lot of spinners in the grass. And that comes late in stage 2. Perkins with a meatball.
Wow.
So that really shakes things up at the end of stage 2 and really is costly for the 33 who's towed.
Yeah, tough break for John Perkins, the San Antonio native.
A rough time now for Perkins. And that's now two drivers needing to get points to be above the cut. Get involved in incidents. There's where Perkins got the meatball.
Yeah, and I don't think that. I think it was just a racing incident. But we look up now, guys, and look who's up here: Chris Carroll in 10th and Hunter Lagoons in 11th. So just like that, they're in a position to score points.
Now, we'll see how things play out. Carroll and Lagoons, it looks like playing the track position game. Like to come in. Caution is on Perkins for cause of yellow. They just confirmed on the radio. Mike Massengill officially is done for the night. He has officially left the facility. Did Chris Carroll and Hunter Lagoons just drive through? I am not sure why they did that, but this is a certainty. This incident. One Perkins will be regretting here.
Yeah, I don't think he meant to. I think it just washed up, got a little loose and washed up the track.
Yeah, you have to wonder now what the game plan is here for the 97 and the 27. After losing all that time, losing touch for the draft, and now 77 to go. A lot of fuel games to potentially consider here in our final stage. Anybody duck down this time? Will they duck down again? Looks like Carroll will, Lagoons will. I wonder if they're taking the gas right now here, Emmett, maybe? Or doing their service now with the one to go, trying to stretch out the fuel run? I'm not sure.
That's what I was trying to wonder. I was like, what are they doing? I mean, they do keep their track position, so that's the good thing.
Yeah, fuel. No tires.
Wow.
I know the tire wear isn't as bad here per se, but it is still California.
Yeah.
This track is like a cheese grater. So this is going to be an interesting run to the very end of the stage. Start lap 45, again up to lap 48. So about 4 laps to work with. Zimmerman, Marr up front, Gibson and Wellman next, Marasco, Kilroe, Moody, Arthur, Bruden, Harmon are your top 10.
Here we go.
Buckle up as we get ready for a mad dash for points at the end of stage 2. Field ready to go, waiting, still going, now going. Green flag, they waited a fair bit that time. Zimmerman gets clear, bringing Cody Gibson with him on the restart to second.
Yeah, Cody Gibson going along. Now he's trying to get alongside of Zimmerman, trying to drift back, trying to just get enough run on that side draft as he shoots to the inside.
There's the run for Marr to retake the spot. Arthur going for a huge slider underneath 2 different cars.
It's going to slide up in front of Marasco for the moment, but I just want to say how Tanner Marr left Cody Gibson. He hung him out to dry right there because it looked like he was going to go with Gibson. He ended up going with Zimmerman, and then Gibson lost all that track momentum in that position of second. Now he drops down to third as we come to 3 to go left. The H! Oh my gosh!
Yikes is all you can say again. Coming up to 2 to go in the stage, this time through. Marr backs up his corners, looking to try and build up something, anything. He's been willing to just push. The 5 Canes entry hasn't been able to get Foy alongside. That is a driver. Does have ties to your race leader. Pushes yet again. Not willing to go around here. Marr electing to just ride with pit road closed.
Yeah, Marr's just going to try to... He's really pushing Zimmerman out to that huge lead for just a moment, getting him out front. And I don't know if he was trying to set him up, but as we see, Cody Gibson's going to actually get to the inside, trying to get to Marr. They're almost 4 wide for second.
A little bit of hard racing again for the 1 to go mark in the stage. Last lap in stage number 2.
And look at the ground that Marr got on the back of Zimmerman. Now Gibson's going to try to drop to the inside. Look at this Kilroe. He's starting to slide back. Now he's got to get behind Wellman. Now Gibson all by himself. But here comes the push from, oh my gosh, Wellman almost made a big push to Marr. But I think that's going to end up costing him, as look at this, Kilroe goes to the inside, trying to slide up in front of him, Justin.
A little bit of a sin. 2 and 3 wide for the spots as Brian Zimmerman sweeps the stages.
Wow.
Tanner Marr does hold on a second. Behind them, it's Gibson, it's Wellman, Kilrow, Harmon, Rasco, Arthur, Mooney, Lagoons, who all get stage points in stage number 2, Emmett. Interesting battle.
I just want to add, Chris Carroll didn't get any stage points, but Hunter Lagoons was able to get that last point.
A little bit of time lost in terms of the point standings, but here's the look at how about 3 wide in the heart of that field.
Wow.
So the field having to work a fair bit to get up to the pace cars. The headlights shine everybody brightly into turn 1. And now it gets interesting on strategy. Less than 70 to go in the race from this point forward. And the tough thing is about going to be, if it stays green, where the fuel numbers lie.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting for sure.
Yep, here we go for pit stops coming up. I'm all slowing down the course here at this point. John Perkins has not returned back to the race from his incident. Taylor Butcher Benjamin is still getting repairs done on his respective car after the contact to the inside wall. So at this point, just 4 tires and fuel seems to be the play again, Emmett. No one willing to risk the tire wear difference here on the left sides tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I'd go 4 right here. Give me all the gas you can get. Make sure that sucker is full, boys.
So now they all make their way down pit road. What has been, so far, Brian Zimmerman's time of night. He has led 39 laps tonight. An evening where if he wanted to get above that cut line, he needed to score points. The biggest of margins, it was a massive difference of 28. He's helped himself a little bit on the cut line. Dalton Kilrow, though, has also been solid tonight. That gap has not closed rapidly. Zimmerman does win this race on pit road. Tanner Marr, Kyle Wellman, Dalton Kilrow, Ty Marasco. Top 5, Trevor Harmon. Taking additional time to get repairs done on his respective car here. Goons and Carroll did come back down again. So the entire field going to be on equal footing here. Where do you now plan the strategy? What's your strategy, Emmett, for this stage if you're in the car?
Oh, man. It's just about, I think at this point, the crew chief's going to let the driver, you know, it's in his court, and let the driver decide what to do. I think the driver's going to relay and say what, you know, for instance, Zimmerman's going to relay and say what Marr's doing, or Wellman, you know, just trying to leapfrog them if it does come down to green flag pit stops. It's going to be interesting for sure to see how the cycle ends up. Look at that. Hunter Lagoons and Chris Carroll back on pit road, guys.
Obviously, they feel this fuel run is going to be a very tight margin here if they're topping off here. It looks like they're trying to stretch this as far as possible. And remember, we talked about how the fuel numbers are going to be razor thin, even with 68 laps to go, because of how the fuel tank is here tonight. We might see some clutch and coast in this run.
Yeah, definitely. And you could do that here. I mean, we look back at, what was that, 2016, where Suarez took the lead on the last lap, ran out of gas. Can't remember who won, but I think it was Kyle Busch won that race, didn't he?
Which race are you referring to?
The one where everybody that took the lead ran out. Daniel Suarez was running for Joe Gibbs, and it was going to be Suarez's first win, and he ran out of gas down the backstretch.
don't remember off the top of my head specifically, to be honest with you, but definitely take your word for it here. We've seen some fuel drama before at the 2-mile circuits across the platform here on Green Flag TV. There's potential tonight for it again. 68 to go. Pace car is off. Field is ready. Green, green, green. And we're back underway. Good start for Zimmerman.
Yeah, Zimmerman got the great start. As now we see Wellman try to get to the inside of Zimmerman. Trying to make the move. He's going to slide up in front of Marr. What a huge move for Wellman. This Five Kings team, they've got it figured out, guys.
Now they've definitely sorted something out. Zimmerman in particular in a very comfortable spot here in terms of speed of the race, but not in the points. It's only a one-time winner this season. Chris Carroll is trying to push a little bit to gain some track position at least here. Likes to lift here instead. And likes to try and pick a little bit of his spots here, but he does seem to be fairly faster than some of those in front of him.
Yeah, so I just want to add, Justin, I did look it up. It was the Xfinity Series, and Kyle Busch blew a tire on the last lap.
Oh, you're talking about that race.
Yes, yes, when Austin Dillon won it. Yes. I thought it was Cup, but I guess it was Xfinity.
Well, as they go, the rest of the field tries to single file out for now. Lagoons amongst those getting shuffled. So at this point, it's going to be the question when we see a lot of the saving come into play here. Right now, Tanner Marr not willing to pass Zimmerman for this race lead yet. Now he's going to try it. Marr takes the inside.
Slide job.
Massive slide job. Wellman follows suit as well with a huge run.
Yeah, and look at Zimmerman ripping the fence. He's going to get the run right here, guys. He's going to be able to maintain the lead. Unbelievable, but Tanner Marr pulled a heck of a slider, just couldn't finish it.
I'll try and line back up again in this group. So Tanner Marr tried it, didn't work. Cody Gibson able to take advantage as a result here.
I'll tell you, I felt like Dale Jinger at Chicagoland when Kyle Larson tried to pull that slide job of Kyle Busch.
Yeah, right now, Marr scraping the wall a little bit. A little bit too high there, didn't cause any damage. But it seems like the tough thing is getting the chance to break away. These green flag runs over the course of the race has not seen too much of a separation here for the leader. Obviously, that could change with the pit stop window coming up soon. But a lot of these drivers have stayed draft locked all night.
Yeah, they've done a great job staying together as we see Hunter Lagoons trying to creep up back in the picture. Lagoons currently running 10th. Trying to get around Mark Arthur, just trying to get back up here to the front. Trying to push it 3 wide, but he's not going to push the issue.
Yeah, at this point, what do you think in your mind here, still with a lot of time to go, especially knowing still up for grabs who's going to make the championship for Emmett, but also still up for grabs which track we race at next time out in a couple weeks?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's going to be interesting when that announcement's made. Looking forward to that. But I just want to say, Nicholas Moody, what a run this guy's having right here. You know, he's had a real tough season so far in these playoffs, especially, and now up here running P5 for the moment.
You see him getting passed though by a hard-charging Chris Carroll. Carroll's pushing the tempo here at this point. trying to pick them off one by one. Oh, some troubles in front. Wellman hit the wall.
Yeah, Wellman hit the wall big time, but Moody able to hold on to it. Zimmerman is under fire from Cody Gibson once again.
Now
Look at the
Zimmerman's
draft.
under attack with this. Yes. Zimmerman doesn't get the crossover. Cody Gibson makes a clean pass. First time in a while we have a different leader here with that move.
Yeah, he was finally able to get around him after being hung out to dry so many times, especially from Tanner Marr. Able to get around him, and oh my gosh, looks like Nicholas Moody just got a huge shot from Marr with the reaction push from the caboose all the way to the front.
Zimmerman at this point. Left out to drive.
Oh,
He is sending in aggressive again.
oh my gosh.
Oh, that's not going to work a little bit. Your
Oh,
contact.
Nicholas Moody in the wall.
Chris Carroll lost a lot of ground from that also. That's the tough thing. Picking your spots, Emmett, so critical in terms of timing here.
Yeah, it's definitely critical as we see right here. Chris Carroll going to give the 4 a bump. That's going to be a reaction to give to the 28 to give to the 42. By the way, are these are all 5 Kings cards, right? In a line?
Well, Cody Gibson, no.
Right.
But you have a lot of 5 Kings cards up here at least that are part of that team. Carroll having to save it again to avoid contact with one of them.
Yeah, and look at Nicholas Moody. He thought about stepping out with William. Oh, man, Carroll in the wall just a little bit. But now Moody's going to try to get to the outside. And he's going to take Bruden with him, seeing if he can get that edge. But Carroll slides up in front of him. As we see Zimmerman shoot to the bottom, just trying to find some way to get a run to get around Gibson. Rewind.
Look
Wow.
at this again.
Oh, man.
Tanner Marr got shoved up the track. Good save by Marr.
Wow.
Zimmerman, a little bit chippy there. A lucky avoidance there has really cost him some time to the top 2. We're just past halfway in the race. The racing electors only a couple laps to go in this pack already, about 13 laps of the run.
Oh my gosh. Zimmerman, did he get in the wall? He is all kinds of loose on those bumps. I think Nicholas Moody was pushing him, and that's what got him real loose. I think he was lifting his back wheels off the track, actually.
Yeah, at this point, field's starting to have some breakups. Lagoons, by the way, has lost touch to this main pack. More than a second behind with Arthur, Marasco, and Harmon in a pack. Then this group is all within about 1 second to your race leader, Cody Gibson. Looks like Zimmerman at the very least willing to work with the 4 still. Looks like Wellman looking to find his way to the lead. Now one of the playoff drivers, Wellman, just looking for victories. And he's got himself up front again. First time with lead laps here tonight.
Yeah, Wellman the wheelman. Wellman the wheelman. Able to slide up in front of Cody Gibson, and Marr just trying to get some help from Zimmerman now as Gibson's going to shoot to the inside. Here comes Marr trying to get to the middle to make it 3 wide, push the issue, but he's not going to. Now he's going to help Wellman out, trying to get up there. What a block by Gibson right there. Wow. Cutting off that momentum from Tanner Marr.
Just trying to block things off continuously here with these runs. But Wellman having his first line laps here on the night. As we go. Wellman is now one of the full-time racers. Only 7 starts this season for Kyle Wellman, but he's gotten 2 top 10s for his efforts. Has been up towards the front plenty of times though in these races. Looks like he doesn't want to give anybody his draft. No sharing, no share draft.
Yeah. He hit if you think back to the old NASCAR games from EA Sports, he hit Intimidator instead of Share Draft on his controller.
That's hard to do from behind with the cars behind. But he did finish in 7th at Echo Park, 9th at Lucas Oil. Outside of that, it's been top 10 finishes since then for the 42. Still has 54, make it 53 laps to do something though. See if they'll continue to snake. At least the 42 does.
Yeah, where was that when we were when the 42 went up and over? Was that last week at Nashville?
To be honest, I don't remember about the flips. I do remember he finished 80 laps down in that race, Emmett.
I thought somebody went up and over because it was like right out of the corner of our eye.
Did have a lot of hard hits at Nashville, we'll say, for some drivers on the concrete racetrack.
Oh!
And as Gibson did take a peek, everybody electing the push right now. Lagoons has ditched Arthur Marasco and Harmon's pack, by the way. He's on his own as the only driver not in a grouping of cars here all of a sudden, by the way. So these groups are starting to splinter on pace, Emmett. That's an important thing to think about here as this run goes on. These drivers now, as they get matching speeds here, are starting to lose touch. They've had about a second of fall off tonight.
Yeah, they almost went 4 wide right there. As we take a look at the second pack, led by Ty Marasco, Mark Arthur, and Trevor Harmon. These guys are trying to lock up, but Hunter Lagoons, like you said, he's just running around in no man's land.
It's not going to be easy to come back from. He is matching the pace of the lead pack, but obviously that's not going to get you anywhere close enough to get within drafting distance.
Look at Chris Carroll on the inside.
He's trying to take the run. Zimmerman nearly spun the car out trying to give him a shove. That's not how you do it. Carroll doesn't get the help he was looking for that time as a result of your spin, but he will take a slider. Carroll for the lead. He's there, not clear. But he does door to the 7 instead.
My God. What a save by Chris Carroll. Could be a championship winning, race winning, championship 4 contending save right there. I had to get it out. I couldn't think of the words.
Gibson extremely lucky he didn't get squeezed the wall. Carroll extremely lucky he didn't become like Terrell Butcher Benjamin. Cost himself a plethora of points, though he likely would have the buffer with tonight. Potentially. Let's see where the final points lie. But as we go, 21 laps in, the math ain't mathing here. For us to get to the checker flag here with the way things are shaping up here, or at least on a 1 stop. At least that's what my math's saying here, Emmett.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
here's a look at the replay of what just happened. Yep. Talk about trying to clear yourself. That sees Carroll back into the heart of the field. Gibson now has Nicholas Mooney's up here again. The 60,
Wow.
but all that's driven up to the outside. It's one of the best races Moody's had all season. He was not a playoff driver. 2 top 10s all season for the 60. Oh, some near contact. Moody trying to go a little bit down. Didn't have the call, though.
They're
Contact.
3 wide still.
Yeah, a little bit dicey as they've gone side by side for the lead for a minute. Carroll's the only one on the bottom by the time he gets to the straightaway.
Yeah, look at this. Brad Zimmerman helping his teammate out of Chris Carroll. Try to get to the inside. Trying to get some drafting help. What happened to Chris? What happened to Chris Carroll? Did he just? Oh my gosh, he's coming into pit. I was like, what happened to him?
Yeah, that is only 23 laps in. He's obviously game planning this out here, Emmett, for the last stage, to say, of this race. That would put him about equal-ish runs to the checker flag on the tire stints. But who responds is the question.
Yeah, and the thing is also we got to keep our eye on that 27 car because if you remember, Justin, under those cautions, those two came down twice on pit road to top off.
Yeah,
Ooh, a little wiggle. Maybe slow it down.
It's pretty clear you can't save that much gas. Carroll has completed his service, but he has also been lapped already, so he'll have to do this on his own for the next while or so. Well, check that. He did find 100 Lagoons, but we know Lagoons has not been able to chip away the gap to the pack in front. And look at this. Let's run the high line. Time to run the floorboards down. Normally you see that more in 1 and 2, not 3 and 4.
Yeah, and I was about to say, usually you see that dirt racing trying to run on the cushion, but I mean, these guys are ripping the fence, and it looks like that's the line that they want to run right now. It's like they either pick the high or low line each and every lap, but looks like the high line. Now we see them fan out for a second.
Remember, the high side, usually long run, normally is the way to go with the way the tire wear burns down. But this is going to make it extremely difficult for everybody else to try and build a run here if it's just going to become a drafting train on the high line, the Pied Piper here, like we're seeing.
Yeah, Kyle Wellman doing a great job as the lead car in this pack. Just doing a great job keeping Cody Gibson at bay. And now Nicholas Moody and William Bruton are thinking about, it looks like Bruton was thinking about jumping out of line, but Moody able to get up to the back of Gibson. Now Gibson's going to shoot to the inside, trying to make the move, but not going to be able to make it.
A little bit of pushing once again for the 4. Lagoons is now in. He went 27 laps on his run. So there goes the help Chris Carroll needed for the pole. Could see some more stops coming up, though, for everybody else here. Looks like it's going to be Wellman who blinks first for the main group. Outside of Carroll, at least. So the 42 is coming down this time.
Whoa, slow her down.
A bit of a slide. Now, everybody else plots and plans. Cody Gibson heading this lap. Same for Nicholas Moody. It's about to be a landmine of pit stops here. Tanner Marr might be also coming. Them down to the bottom of the racetrack. Will he take the Pika down there? Looks like no. Instead, he'll drive around as they'll arc it in. First service, Wellman just completed his stop. We'll have to see where things cycle. Chris Carroll is running 39.7s at the moment. The lead group is 40.5s.
Well, he is getting faster.
Carroll has caught up to these cars actually on the track.
Wow, that's those fresh tires.
Able to power his way on just the tire wear here, right into the hornet's nest. Oh, and he hits Zimmerman. Zimmerman faded up a bit on his pit entry. Zerman trying to pass by Brunin, says you're going slow. Tanner Marr almost passes him too.
Yeah, what a move.
As Brunin said, they all survived.
Now this is interesting right here, guys, because Carroll, since he's back on the lead lap, wouldn't he get the lead from the cycle? I was supposed to say if there's a caution.
Yep. Someone's clutch coasting going on. I think Kilroe's trying to attempt a long stop. He's going to have to go only a few more laps and have to clutch and coast in the second run to make that work. He has about, right now, a 42-second buffer to those who pit.
That's wild. You see him clutching, you just hear it, just blah, 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 blah. If he doesn't get a caution, though, Justin.
Yeah, that's the critical thing. Keep in mind, Chris Carroll is right now actually on the lead lap and has pulled away of a couple seconds. He'd be the other factor in all this. Carroll is running lap times 3 tenths off everyone else who just pits pace. That's how big the fall-off band has gone so far for them, as here comes the clutch, here comes the pass. 36 to go. Trevor Harmon also trying to stretch and just came down pit road.
Yeah, and he's got a 24-second lead over Ty Marasco in second. This is going back. Reed Sorensen in 2006 had the lead, going for his first career win at California. Ended up running out, but Casey Kane was able to take home that win after his unbelievable season that year.
We've seen a great seed. A good season for Dawson Curl. We talked about his win tally, the highest outside Justin Levine this season. Makes it coming to 35 to go. This could be the play here. He might be just short. It's going to require a heavy amount of saving, Emmett, over the course of this next stint, right from the start of it, in fact, if he wants a shot here. Ty Marasco and Mark Arthur are also yet to pit.
Yeah, and Mark Arthur has been in Ty Marasco's draft, and so that's helping him being able to save, as they both are clutching right here, but this is going to be close, guys. We thought it was going to come down to fuel mileage, and it might as well might be the factor for sure.
Yeah, they lost a ton of time, remember, with their pack as a whole. This is definitely the window here. Look at that. All the way Marasco to the apron. He's trying to save so hard.
Oh, my gosh.
Yep. Looks like they're pitting together.
Oh, man. Slow it down.
Mark Arthur jumped him. But Ty Marasco was actually quicker on the speed limit. Is he speeding with this?
Oh.
Mark Arthur did speed on entry. Ty Marasco lucky he didn't get clipped in the next sector after that.
Wow.
Right there. Didn't slow down to well deep. And Arthur overslowed, trying to average out the sector. It didn't work. The lead's almost down. It's above 1 second here, Emmett.
Yeah, and I was just about to say, Justin, the way that when we saw riding on board with Arthur when he came in, I mean, his RPMs were at 5,000 right before he came to the line, so I thought maybe he was going to be speeding.
Yeah. Yeah, Dalton Kilrow isn't really saving too hard right now. You would think he'd be saving extremely hard if he was trying to stretch it and make this work compared to everyone else on his strategy. But that's not the case. Marasco is almost a full lap behind. So take him out of the equation. Arthur with his speed penalty is a lap down. Kyle Wellman, as you can see, is knocking the time down. It is starting to go down that close-up rate. However, they pass up by Arthur here. Should see 7 also help the 42 close up quick. There's Marasco bleeding out behind the 97.
Yeah, and then also with Gibson and Wellman, you know, they're battling side by side. That's allowing Chris Carroll to pull away even more, guys.
Right now with the drivers trying to sort themselves out quickly. High sign and handsome for the 42. Wellman able to clear. Get himself on by as Cody Gibson marches right on behind. Everybody else lost a decent amount of time in that pit cycle. How long will Carroll be able to hold on is the tough part. The corner speed's the big difference right now.
Yeah, definitely, and he's able to break the draft. And now dropping down to the apron, just trying to find a little momentum. Now he's going to try to slide up. That was not a good move because he was trying to break the draft, but Wellman didn't fall for it, and Wellman stayed to the high side. Now it's looking like he's not going to be able to clear him. Gets the side draft right here, guys, trying to get the momentum, but the outside line's got too much energy.
Yeah. So Wellman up in front with Gibson second. It's curious right now as they go. Kilrow is trying to push to catch up to at least to these cars, you'd have to think. Right now he's still running 39-second lap times, 39 6s and 7s in fact. The leaders are 2/10 slower than that as we go. There is attempts here to at least get to maybe these cars because Hunter Lagoons wants those. The early strategy, Tanner Barr, Nicholas Moody, all packed together here. They're running equal time, so the leaders all be at 3 seconds back.
Yeah, look at Lagoons just trying to get under Marr right here, trying to get some help from Moody, but just not enough momentum to get past Marr.
This is the tough part of the strategy for Kilrow at least, is it's going to require a caution, you have to think, but also a well-timed one. Here's the interval between Moody and Kilrow. You see that is going down consistently in the past 3 laps at least. 2/10 per lap to the 60. Continue to pace themselves around as the battle for second is on. They are catching up the lap traffic. Gibson working hard to push away, but look at how things shape up here with Carroll.
Oh my gosh.
You have Arthur in the pack, going to be a bit of a factor in lap traffic. He's enforcing it though amongst these championship contenders.
Yeah, then Trevor Harmon, you know, this car we see that they're trying to catch in lap traffic. Who's going to use Harmon as a pick to get around either Wellman or Gibson or Carroll? I mean, this is a 3-way battle for the lead, guys.
Yeah, 3-way battle. Carroll's keeping up with the draft at least. That sets him up well on his strategy for later on, possibly. Looking to the inside. He's got a nose in front of the 7, but no clearance in front of the 7.
Yeah, he's going to have some help. He should have had Mark Arthur go with him right there, and Arthur could have given him a push and allowed the 97 to pull alongside of the 42. Then he could have tried to get enough side draft to get the momentum.
Yeah, Kilrow has caught that second pack, by the way, for those curious. Kilrow, still 2/10 quicker than everybody else on the racetrack. Has reeled them in with 25 laps to go. We're almost at that point, Evan, where some of these drivers could pit, and we can confirm Kilrow is in fuel save mode. We continue to watch this battle.
Yeah, look right here. I mean, Arthur's going to give the 97 a little shove right there. Just give him a little push. As we see Gibson try. Oh, Gibson backed way out. I thought he was going to try to pull up.
Here's the Kilrow fuel save situation.
Carroll's coming in.
Not a surprise. He has 22 laps on the tires here, Emmett. He's preferring to try and keep the distance on his separation here. Keep the runs near equal.
Yeah, definitely. But this is gonna be interesting right here, guys, because like with Carroll pitting, it could come down if we get a caution or something. It's gonna come down to a shootout. Will he have enough fuel to make it on a green-white checkered if it happens?
There's so much in terms of factors here, but it's pit stop time for Wellman. He takes the tough angle. Lagoons also joins him. 22 to go. Pit party time for a lot of these contenders as Carroll is already on his way out of pit road.
Yeah, look at Brian Zimmerman. Going to go to P2. 2.4 seconds back to our leader, Mr. Cody Gibson. As now Gibson has his eyes set on Carroll, trying to put him a whole lap down.
Another pit stop for Gibson. Norman continues to stretch. Net lead ends up going to Carroll for now. Carroll has ended up jumping in front of Wellman by a sizable 2 seconds with his window. Nicholas Moody trying to battle out with some of the others here. Kilrow trying to pass them.
Yeah, now Kilrow. Looks like he's clutching, Justin.
Yeah, he's definitely clutching in the corners, but he's got faster speed here than all of them down the straights even. You can see just how much he keeps gaining.
Yeah, look at the momentum. He's able to get up to the back bumper now, Nicholas Moody. But now Nicholas Moody, as we see Kilrow, you hear it just rolling it through the corner on the clutch. Moody was trying to get alongside Mark, but he's just going to fall behind him.
How much Kilrow is trying to work hard and mighty to be able to get this to work. It's going to require for him, if he can get this, he's going to get the win. No doubt about it, just with the way everybody else on the strategy is way far back. However, doesn't work out for Kilrow. That is a big potential point swing for him on the racetrack. It's going to be a bit nerve-wracking right now. Carroll again only has about a second on Cody Gibson on those who have pit strategy. 20 to go. There's a look at the 97 that he has got the 7 in drafting tow, technically with Trevor Harmon as a buffer.
Yeah, just trying to use Harmon back there just to hold up those guys so that he can get away.
See just where the pace is lying here with 0.07 gained last time by. Zimmerman is in. Zimmerman is in pit road. Not going to go up with the race leaders, though. They are already passing them on by despite a 2-tire pit stop. That was the case, too, for the 7. That was the case for Zimmerman. But that's going to see him cycle well behind. This is for the lead on track. Tanner Marr He's not afraid to push a little bit here. They're hoping for a caution, obviously, up at the front, but Moody continues to hold now high side. Tanner Barr, I think, just indicated a pit stop coming up soon.
Yep, here comes Marr coming in.
Pit stop time. That leaves just Moody and Kilrow. And Moody leading his first lap of the night here in the 60. This is Kilrow.
Wow, look how much ground he gained, Justin. At a corner exit, able to gain so much ground on the 60.
See, straight into the clutch. Possibly turning the motor off here too, trying to double whammy fuel save, getting lower, even lower, down to 300 on the RPM band.
Wow.
Just trying to maintain here as Tanner Barr comes out. Moody is trying to stretch a little bit away. Marasco is a buffer in front. Marasco, 17 laps in a run.
That's going to help Kilrow, though, to get up to the back bumper of Moody. If he's able to use the draft from Marasco and get some help, possibly from Marr as well.
See just how tight this is going to get here. Coming up 15 laps to go. Now looking and seeing what the stint numbers here. The math is correct. Moody is short by about 5. Kyle Wellman, for reference, is telling our drivers they got to work together if they want to get to Gibson and they want to get to Carroll for their respective pack. Gibson's kind of equalized out compared to Carroll. That's going to be an interesting time back there soon as we still see Kilrow save hard and save as much as possible, coming to 14 to go. Yeah, here's a look at Harmon. He comes down pit road. Gonna go any further, 23 laps. Moody is coming in now. Nicholas Moody ended up coming up to what would be for him about 12 to go. So that gives it to Kilrow up at the front. 13 to go, should say, is what you see on the ticker. Just trying to keep the pace slowed down here as much as possible. He's still just 22 laps through. Marasco has got better fuel economy than him.
Oh, man. Tough break for Nicholas Moody, Justin.
Yeah, Nicholas Moody had been a contender tonight, not anymore. Penalty flag pops on up for him. We have a battle for what is the drivers battling for the top spots pitting, though. Gibson is all over the back end of Carroll. Carroll trying to hold on with Gibson, now willing to push this time after a side-by-side move at the last corner.
Yeah, Gibson giving Carroll a big shot right there. It's now Wellman and Lagoons. These two are racing side by side. They need to get behind each other so that they can work together to catch up to Gibson and Carroll.
Yeah, there's already been calls from Wellman. Work with me, do something. Let's go, let's go. Lagoons has kind of stopped working with him. Carroll tries to do something. Lagoons tries to go for a send on Wellman. He's had
Wellman.
enough of it. He elects to go for a battle. Wellman elects to say, if you're not going to work with me to try and close, I'm not going to work with you.
Yeah, Hunter Lagoon's using his dirt background to pull the slide job, but Wellman on the crossover was perfect. Great move by Wellman, but now Lagoon's trying to get the position back as, once again, guys, this is just hurting these two cars as this run goes along.
Now look at this push right now that we're seeing Kilrow utilize hard. Coming up to 9 laps to go. And the buffer, by the way, is 22 seconds. At this point, if Kilrow can stretch it, he tied the season high for victories and have a shot at the finale to be able to hold on to the series lead by the end. If not, Chris Carroll has a chance to be able to tie Kilrow for second most in the wins. Of course, don't forget Cody Gibson looking for what will be just his second win of the season, despite being so close so many times at times this year.
Got it done at Bristol. Cody Gibson did, as Tanner Marr's going to pick up the black flag. But if Kilrow's able to win this race, Justin, what a comeback for that team after the first race at Pocono of the playoffs, got involved in that wreck, was looking like he was going to get eliminated, but just kept on advancing himself past that cut line. And if he's able to pull off this win, what a move and what a comeback for that 41 team.
What a day. Oh, wow. Wellman and Lagoons still not done fighting. They are losing themselves a ton of time here to the point where Zimmerman might catch them. Keep in mind, Wellman took 4 tires on his strategy. Lagoons was on the 2-tire strat. Checking back in up front. Look at this. The gap is reducing massively. 4 seconds lost last time through. Kilrow has gone into complete fuel save mode.
Yeah, that
Carrasco is way slow here too.
Yeah, this is this is interesting, but they do have a car in between them and Carroll, as we see the 43 of Larry Bell behind Kilrow. So it's going to be interesting if they're able to catch them or not, guys.
They're going below 160 miles an hour in the corner. That is way off on pace, mind you. This gap is not going to hold if they keep on having to go as much as they're clutching. Absolutely clutching all the way past the apex. It's 10 seconds now, the interval. Look at this. The corner difference is the major thing. Straightaway speed still there. But the corner speed, they just picked up another second this time, these two battling.
Yeah, these two, they're both hurting their chances of getting this win by not working together and battling for second and third.
Car back in the air grouping, by the way, coming to 5 laps to go. In fact, we have taken 5 to go for Kilrow at least. Lagoons trying as much. Kilrow, they're still really slow rolling it here. Larry Bell about to drive on by them.
Larry Bell trying to get his lap back right here.
No issue. Now 2 seconds picked up by Gibson. Under 4 to go. Gap is 4 seconds. Kilrow needs a caution. It's at this point that the one has said, I'm going to start gassing up a bit more. Now he backs off. Kuro keeps on trying to push now. He's gone a little bit faster this time. It's under 4 seconds with 3 laps to go. It's going to be close.
Yeah, and now those two of Gibson and Carroll, they're starting to work together. So that's going to help. That's why they've been able to close out this gap on the field, Justin.
Carroll just had an issue last time by. That's because Cody Gibson just passed him. Gibson able to jump to second. Still 3 seconds the gap. That was after. Seeing trouble. It's Kilrow. He's out of gas. Kilrow couldn't go any further. Kilrow coming around to the final couple laps. Has to duck on in. It's now Gibson in front.
This is going to be huge, guys, when it comes to the playoffs.
Big shuffle in the points coming up here. It was a risk. Kilrow wasn't able to go. He needed to be able to stretch it 2 more laps in the first run. Couldn't do it. Cody Gibson up by 4/10. He's now trying to pull away. Coming up to the white flag. Final time around here from California. Gibson seems to be in comfortable spots here, Emmett. Right now, the speed's there.
Yeah, he's looking good right now, but look at the run that Carroll's getting. But I think it's just going to be a little bit too late for Carroll.
Here we go, coming on through. Gibson. Santa Powers on his way through all night long. Carroll hits the wall, but it's Gibson who gets the win. He gets it done in Fontana. Cody Gibson gets it over Carroll. Third goes to Zimmerman, leading 51 laps. Coons and Wellman stand in the top 5. The 7 of Gibson, his second win this season.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. It felt like, 2006 when Reed Sorensen was winning, going to get his first career win in the Cup Series, and he ran out, and Casey Kane just stormed on by and took home the win.
Well, it's Gibson time to celebrate. 7. I don't know what he's trying to do, but he is all over the map on his burnout.
There he goes.
So Cody Gibson gets it done here tonight. He led 18 laps on the way to the victory tonight. He gets it done over Chris Carroll, Brian Zimmerman, Lagoons, and Wellman get top 5s also. Bruden, Kilrow, Bell, Marasco, Harmon, your top 10, Emmett.
Yeah, in the 11th, we find Mark Arthur, who had that speeding penalty. Nicholas Moody, another speeding penalty. Tanner Marr, John Perkins, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, who had a tough break tonight. Mike Massagill and Jess Hadley, who never gridded tonight, Justin.
Never attended the session itself. And that's looked on to bottom of your running order here tonight. Points have come on through into the Sim Racer Hub time also. We'll look at those totals in a moment. But as we get ready to continue our celebrations here for tonight's run, Cody Gibson gives the chance to celebrate with a victory. Cody, talk us through the nerves, as it was either going to be you, Chris Carroll, or we see the fuel attempts going on for Dalton Kilrow. It ends up being you. How are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. Ecstatic. I didn't think you know, the way the car drove, it was anybody's game because the draft was so huge.
Yeah, draft seemed to be a big factor when it came to tonight. How was it in terms of trying to pick the lines to be able to get the runs to utilize the draft?
You'd have to try to get on the outside of people, rather entering the corner or coming off, and hopefully the people in front of you would stick to the high side and not drop down and give the bottom side guy some draft. But I don't know, you just had to choose your battles wisely, very wisely.
So on that note here tonight, now the focus remains on one spot here. How things go in the championship finale? How are you feeling about that? We, of course, don't even know what the venue is yet.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. I mean, I don't know how to prepare, but at least I got some momentum heading into, 2 weeks from now? So hopefully I can pull off another one. It would be my first championship in BPL, which would be awesome. Been here probably 3 years now, and I think this is my best year yet.
I just want to ask you, Cody, where are you from in Texas?
I'm east of Dallas, but I live in Colorado Springs.
Okay, all right. I was just wondering because I'm at Wichita Falls.
Oh, you can't tell by the voice at all, huh?
Not at all.
Any shout you'd like to give here tonight?
Oh, my teammates here at Five Kings Motorsports. You guys for putting on the broadcast, Mark for doing what he does for the league. Of course, Tanner, Dalton, you know, and everything that makes it go around and have a good place to run each and every weekend. Thanks, guys.
Congratulations on the win tonight, Cody.
Thank you.
Cody Gibson gets it done here this evening. Chris Carroll comes away second. He's with Emmett.
I'm down here with Chris Carroll. Man, dude, talk about just a little bit too late. What could you have done to catch up to the 7?
I think I should have waited to pit. I took 2 tires there, trying to get out ahead of everybody. I think if I wait 5 more laps, I'd probably win the race. But I wanted to make sure. I knew Mark was trying to make it to the end. I knew he could. I did the math. I knew Dalton wasn't going to make it by 2 laps. We did a lot of testing today for fuel this afternoon to see what we could do, making it on fuel and a normal run without saving. So kind of knew the number, miscalculated when I pitted. I think if I pitted later, I think I'm in a good spot. I think I'm where Cody is.
So talk about what's going through your mind when y'all are sitting there and y'all just waiting, and when Dalton ran out, what was going through your mind? Were you like, oh, I got to go now or something? But
No, I knew I had to go before that. Seven car was coming on fresher tires, and he did a great job. He called the perfect pit call there and got the win. But I knew I had to go before that. And once he sniffed that draft, there was nothing I could do to hold him back. So he did a great job. He deserved it.
All right, so how do you prepare for a track that hasn't been announced yet in 2 weeks for this championship race?
Well, they do this every year. We're not allowed the Final Four to vote, but you know, it doesn't really matter what track it is. It doesn't. You got to learn it. You got to drive it. We're all in the same thing. So just trying to put yourself in a position to be there and run a smart race and hope you can stay up front and have a shot to win at the end.
All right, and before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to thank out there?
Yeah, I always got to thank USAFirearms.com, Brian Zimmerman. Awesome sponsor for years. Get your firearms there if you can. I got to thank Tanner Marr. He's the guy who got me into all this stuff. Ohio Roofing, all the admins here that do an awesome job to put us into, a platform that we can do what we love to do. You guys for the broadcast, and all my family and friends that are watching. I think my folks are out there watching, and all my family and friends out there watching. There's lots of them. We get lots of views out of that, so it's really cool deal that we can kind of do our own fake NASCAR on the internet.
All right, well, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Good luck.
I'll be ready. Thanks, sir.
All right.
I'll be ready.
No problem. Justin?
Good run tonight for Chris Carroll. A great run as well for Brian Zimmerman, who ends up coming away third spot tonight. Brian, how do you talk about how things went for you? You had the speed, you led the most laps, but only a third place run at the end.
Yeah, we were really having to throw everything we had at it tonight. We were behind the 8 ball in the playoffs. We knew we had to win both stages, win the race, to even have a mathematical shot at it. But I think we're going to come up a little bit short making that Final Four. Last week, got an incident early in the race, took me out, and it really put me behind the 8 ball. It was all my fault last week, and tried to make up for it tonight. Just didn't have enough. Cody and Carroll was super fast. They made the right pit strategy there. When I came to pit road, I took just a little bit too much fuel. My guys were changing fuel cans. I ended up with too much fuel at the end, and I think that that was really the difference between me being up there and being able to race with them. Was a bad decision on taking too much fuel on my pit stop. But either way, they were super fast. Congratulations to Cody. He's been fast all year, so congratulations to him and Carroll. They both deserved their finishes. But it was a lot of fun out there tonight.
It definitely seemed like it to be the case here. So at this point, what's your approach for that finale?
Well, I don't know if the points are out yet. I doubt I'll be able to make the Final Four. I think Dalton, those guys had a good enough finish that they'll be able to make it in. We'll just go out and try to win. Try to go out there and get us a win. We still haven't got a win, I don't think, in this series this year. So hopefully we can get one in this last race. Definitely don't want to affect the top 4. Kind of race those guys pretty clean. Make sure we don't get into them. But now we're just trophy hunting. Yeah, man.
All right. Well, good luck in 2 weeks. We'll see you wherever we go.
Hey, looking forward to it. We appreciate y'all's broadcast. It'll be fun going back and watching it. Just thank you guys for all y'all do. Thank you, Tanner Mara, for letting me run with the boys over there at 5 Kings and all the guys that run this league. We just appreciate all they do. So thank you, boys, for what you do. We appreciate it.
All right. We'll see you. Good luck in 2 weeks. Like I said,
wherever we're at.
Wherever we're at.
Wherever we're at, we'll have a good time. We'll be looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. All right, and we're going to get those points for you. So here's your top 4. Chris Carroll, Cody Gibson, Hunter Lagoons, and Dalton Kilrow by a slim margin of 13 points will be your championship 4. Unfortunately, Brian Zimmerman, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, John Perkins, and Larry Bell will be eliminated. Justin, what do you have to say about this?
It's going to be interesting how things go for Muncher Championship 4. Of course, the drivers are going to have their hand in seeing what track we go to for that finale, Emmett. It's going to be an interesting show, no matter where we go, on who comes away as the 2025 champion. Again, that will be November the 16th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Catch the coverage here on Green Flag TV. But on that note, it's time to say goodbye. I'd like to thank you for tuning in for tonight's coverage from Fontana, California. For Dustin Ollis, for Emmett Crow, I'm Justin Prince saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your evening. You've been watching Blazing Pedals. It's ARCA Series. Heads to its finale in a couple weeks' time.